Perfect.
Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Housing Podcast. I'm your host, Tim McDaniel, and today's topic is grand opening. All right. So I just wanted to get that little shout out there. We getting some content creation set up in place. And I'm pretty much ready when you are. I was playing with this intro because am I able to show the laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I would like to.
All right. Should I fire through for the first question that we have
Yes.
for today? All right. That's the first topic is housing market trends. What are some of the most significant trends you're noticing in today's housing market, and how are they impacting different stakeholders?
Mm, that's a really big question. Well, one of the obvious trends that I've noticed is the interest rates are increasing. Um, the rental prices are not decreasing. Price homes are a little stagnant. Commercial properties are maybe, a little stagnant as well. But the overall cost of housing is increasing substantially, mainly on the financing end of it. I literally just bumped into one of my developer friends, and he was meeting with one of his lenders. And the conversation was, okay, they can fund it, but how are you going to pay? How are you going to fill the units? How are you going to make it, you know, an effective investment? And so I think just the market trend right now is that, everybody's trying to figure out how to make housing affordable, just because, I mean, and I'm sure that's not nothing new, but I think it's even more of a challenge now due to the, inflationary rates increasing. And so I would say that's the biggest trend that's going on.
And what would be your recommendation right now in real estate? Like, would people be leaning towards investing, buying, or selling? Like, what's the most um, valuable action that they can take right now? I would say.
Okay. Well, if you're an aspiring homeowner, or if you're like a low income family that's literally just wanted to get a home that you and your family can feel safe in, I would say now is like the perfect time to really, look for those and identify those neighborhoods cuz because there's less, I would say, confidence on the buyer's end to, really buy properties right now. I think that gives people kind of a chance to really get into these maybe opportunity areas or neighborhoods that they normally wouldn't have, the chance because of the high competition. And then, for the low income households, I mean, there's like subsidies, there's rental subsidies available. And it's never guaranteed for people to be eligible for them. But there's so many resources. I feel very confident that, if somebody is having a hardship with the cost of housing and they're at risk of homelessness, that they should be really learning about the housing subsidies. But, for like investors or, housing professionals that's in the industry, I think this is an opportunity to build out systems, and then also to kind of really focus on educating the marketplace because I think there's a lot of moving parts going on right now in the market. People don't know where the affordability options are. Where the resources are located. So, like, literally, I feel like if you're a professional, this is a good time to educate your client base, your marketplace, and then also for you to learn even more, with the introduction of AI to mainstream, there's a lot of things that I can foresee. I mean, if not within the next couple of years, maybe in the next few months, the way, AI it works, the nature of it. And so, I mean, professionals just need to be very cognizant of a change, a fast changing market. So I would say, like, continue to get second opinions, but be aggressive. So it's kind of like a fine balance.
And it's good that you went over digital transformation, like over the inflation on the market. How is the digital transformation in real estate affected, or how has the digital transformation in real estate affected your experience as a homeowner, investor, or housing professional?
Well, let me start as a housing professional. um, I would say it made us more lazy, right? We don't have to go to as many open houses. We don't have to host as many open houses, even though we're going to be hosting some open houses. It's just less often. It's mainly like for the grand openings. That's kind of why we have the word of the day, actually grand opening, because we're actually celebrating some of the housing professionals that we work with, that came to us, literally as a renter, and within 3 years became a homeowner, and now have become a property owner and a landlord, and they're looking for their next projects. And I think, like, just having a network of people that can help people like her, you know, get through those milestones, kind of quickly. Um, I think it's good to look at partnership teams. I think this is a period of time where the people that team up, the people that value partnership, is going to be able to really elevate, to like exponentially pass up a lot of those solo professionals. So if you're a housing professional, I would recommend really invest in time and developing a team, a support group, with like-minded professionals. And then if you're like, somebody who's just literally wanting to make their own housing dream a reality, I say it's a good time, like I mentioned, to dream big. I love to you know dream big when people are kind of like the most nervous. I've had the most luck during those moments. I found, when I was even finding housing for my own family, I found, you know, some of the best housing during the worst, economic and housing crisis in those periods. And so I would just encourage, you to just like, who, if you're somebody that's looking for housing, to get with a team, because it's those professionals that kind of know how to navigate challenging times that's going to help you, get to the next level, achieve your goals.
Definitely, and I totally agree to that. Um, and another thing is that we noticed a lot of fluctuation in the market, in the real estate market, over the past 3 years, especially when COVID hit. Um,
Mm.
well, how do you see the issue of housing affordability evolving? And what strategies or policies do you think are most effective in addressing it?
We got to be honest. There's no one size fits all when it comes to housing. Every community has a community plan, and so zoning laws differ, ordinances differ, development, permits process differ. So I just think we have to be very clear about our goals. No matter, if it's building affordable housing or obtaining affordable housing as a family, the more clarity we have in our goals, right, the more we can facilitate a plan. With the introduction of I think it has changed the game in the sense that professionals can leap bound the time it takes for them to build a presence. But that still doesn't change the fact that you gotta get results, right? And so we're all about results. And we're about a community that delivers results, and shares success stories. Our whole thing is that we want our members, we want, our network of people to feel good about investing in our community, because they know that when they invest, they become a success story.
And let's go over sustainable housing. What's your perspective on the movement towards greener, more sustainable homes? And do you see this as an important factor in your home buying, investing, or professional decisions?
Yeah, I think everybody is aware of the solar panels. They're aware of the the different type of material. It's unfortunate that, the most eco-friendly material costs the most. It should be the other way around. But I think until we change those different realities, um, we just have to continue to look for, the best option. And that's the beauty in the private marketplace, is that it usually allows people that, are looking for a solution to be able to find one that fits them the best. And so I would say, if you're a professional, focus on harnessing, and honing down on your solution and how you want to serve your marketplace. Because I feel like as long as you're focused on the outcome and the delivery of the solutions that, you want to offer. So if that's like sustainable type of thing, like one thing I want to mention about sustainability, um, is a couple of people. So Elon Musk, I believe he's gotten, or at least I've heard, he's gotten into like the home building, right? I think whoever can figure out how to build housing the quickest, the fastest, with the least resources, then I think that's who's gonna really lead. And even Home Depot has already built modular homes, accessory dwelling units you could buy at a discounted rate. I mean, we we invested in just recently doing an accessory dwelling unit, so like building a unit, like a modular home, and it cost almost about, well, actually, it did cost over $200,000. Whereas Elon Musk, they're talking about, building ADUs for like 50,000. You know, um, and Home Depot, they talked about having these same, the quality is going to differ. So I understand, there's always, you're gonna, differ on the quality. Most of the time, you get what you pay for, but I think there's a happy medium, and I think like, really trying to learn best practices from, thought leaders and innovation leaders like Elon Musk. Um, and it's going to take time. I know, a lot of people, they like tiny homes. And even at the especially dwelling unit we just built, we have a Tesla like charge that charges up the entire house, right? So it's a lot of those things that's kind of going on. I think is gonna save the actual, residents that's living in housing. But I think it's still important on the front end for families to get into housing that they can afford on the front end, because usually expenses increase once you get into housing. And so, we've been working a lot with educating, our families kind of like on the different affordability models, and kind of, what do they call it? Um, the income levels, and then, letting you know which programs that you qualify for. So whether you make, over $70,000 a year or less than $40,000, there are resources available, especially at the utility companies, right? They're trying to encourage you to do different things to save money. So it's a lot of resources. So
And real estate is definitely evolving, and it's highly noticeable. I'd agree to that. And I'm just curious. Let me circle back on the Elon Musk newest project. I'm just really curious about him. How good is it as far as durability for the 50,000 over the 200,000 worth of
I've
quantity?
just seen like what do they call that? Like a mold, or like a concept, like a digital concept of it. It isn't in the market that I'm aware of yet. Most of the project that Elon Musk, kind of like invest in, they kind of roll out eventually. So I envision this being a rollout process. Like I mentioned, I barely just heard about it. I usually kind of try to be one of the first to hear about any kind of resources or new things that's going on in the market. Like I mentioned, we've been empowering a lot of property owners to build second units or accessory dwelling units at their property, because there have been grants available, and but a lot of those grant monies have dried up, and so a lot of those development projects have dried up as well. And so we just been trying to look at different avenues to still be able to deliver on increasing housing, because at the end of the day, the way we alleviate the lack of availability of housing, is to increase the housing supply, and then there's also a hidden market of housing units that are actually vacant, but that's a whole nother story. And but we educate our housing um, um, partners, our affiliates, on how to target those properties for families that's looking for housing. So it's just is there's I don't believe there's a lack of housing. I think there's a lack of empathy in the housing industry, and so it creates a lot of disenfranchisement.
Agreed. Another topic that I'd want to go over with is investing in real estate. Like, it's a really trending topic right now, and I know we covered this a little bit earlier on my first question, but to expand on it, like whether for personal or investment purposes, what factors do you consider when deciding to invest in a property?
um it just depends on your kind of like your nature of investing. Some people like to be hands on with their investment. You know, you know, some people, they want to be hands off. They just want to look at the numbers on paper, and if all the numbers check out, right, they'll pull the trigger. Um, I believe there's a happy medium of really both, right? I believe that um you should know what you're investing in kind of really closely. You should have, a couple of exit plans. Something happen. The great thing about real estate is that it allows you the opportunity to develop several exit plans with different projects. Um, and then just, I would say, as a family that want to maybe invest in their first home, I know it's easy to say, but there's no better time than now. Now is the best time to invest in, creating an asset for yourself, for your family, and really that is one of the starter points of leaving a legacy for your family. And so, like me, kind of being a man of faith, like when I first got into housing, like it actually started as a ministry, and just wanted to see people that didn't have safe shelter to be able to obtain the resources they need, so they can kind of just get back to everyday life. So I would say, yeah, there's a lot of advanced stuff going on, in the real estate stuff, but at the end of the day, like it's still people in places. And so I think there's lenders that's willing to work, with first time home buyers. You have to make sure you connect with the right ones. If your finances or if your credit is not where it needs to be, there's housing counselors, there's credit specialists that can help you fix your credit, right? At the end of the day, um, and even I tell myself, like, there's almost literally no excuses to, kind of making your power moves in the housings. There's always going to be a reason why maybe you can't do it now. But if you focus long enough, right, the housing industry is big and resourceful enough for you to achieve your dreams.
Perfect. Um, and how about the role of community? Like, how does the broader community factor into your considerations around housing? Whether it's where to buy a home, which properties to invest in, or how to shape housing policies or businesses?
That's a big question. but I like to answer big questions with small answers. I'm a community organizer by heart. Uh, so I just believe, and I mentioned empathy in the housing market. I believe the way to be most effective in the housing market, right, is to have empathy, right? I understand like is literally, putting people in boxes, but I think it's more than that. I think it's everything else aside from the box, that we're putting people in, that we're investing in. Um, right? We're wanting to create experiences, for our kids, for ourselves, where we live at, with our neighbors, right? And so a home is more than just a box. A home is life. It gives you protection. Um, it gives you the peace to explore, to think creatively. A peace of mind. um Housing is a lot of things, and that's why I believe, I want to be where I am without, for one, um the community, and then just kind of like understanding that, um that's where the magic happens. And even my slogan for my nonprofit, Section 8 managers, is where housing and community meets, because we feel like that's what makes, what we do special, is that we do utilize and leverage our relationships and expertise, with our local community. And we believe there is a blueprint that people can, duplicate in their own local community, right, to help them not only obtain affordable housing, but if they want to take housing as, like a career, right, they can literally follow the tea leaves, and it'll take them to places they had never thought of. So I love housing. I love the community components of it, and I could talk about it all day.
um, and how about the like how do you see um like what you're doing right now, community engagement in housing, how do you see it progressing in the next 5-10 years? What are some of the plans that you have envisioned possibly?
Yeah. Well, so I guess the best way to explain my vision and how I see what I'm doing, or kind of where the housing is going. What can I compare it to? Um, hmm. Like Uber drivers. So I feel like there's going to be a new, like, revolution just in terms of direct contact and helping people navigate housing. Um, I don't know if it's going to be like an app to get people from unit to unit, but it's going to be a technology to help people be able to identify housing options more quickly, and to be able to apply to housing options more quickly. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. Um, my guess is that's going to have a lot to do with AI. Um, we're already kind of building out platforms in our local community, kind of like to do what I'm talking about. Actually, our certified housing placement specialist course is literally drilling down on how we leverage the community and how we leverage simple simple facts within the housing system, right? The way it's structured to have hierarchy and protocols, right? We show you how to crack the code so you can overcome any barriers, especially within the subsidized housing market.
Understood. um and I do have some follow-ups on that, like, so in 5 to 10 years, what are some of the predictions that you are mindful of as far as the market fluctuations, market trends, in real estate? And how are you preparing your clients? How are you using this to your advantage like in your client's advantage technically?
Yeah, I mean, the answer came straight to me when you said it, and it also made me really sad because the reality is a lot of people are going to get hurt. Um, within the next 10 to 15 years within this housing industry. I believe it's going to become an owner's market, right? There's going to be few conglomerates of entities that buy up a lot of the best properties, and there's going to be a lot of hurt. So, and and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to leverage kind of like the resources that was meant to protect people as a safety net within the housing industry. Like that's what HUD is for. The Housing and Urban Development is created, is the reason why we allow the government to tax us, billions and billions and almost trillions of dollars within the housing um, industry, to be able to provide us with safety nets. And so, what we like to, hold our head on is that as long as we can hold ourselves accountable to the purpose of those programs, and to, actually challenging ourselves to become leaders in upholding some of these, programs, because housing has never been a fair playing field, you know especially for disenfranchised communities like mine. And so, it's very important that we know, the rights. It's very important that we do know our rights, because without our rights we can't advocate for ourselves.
That is definitely true. Um, and those are all the questions that I have prepared for today. Um, so I can go ahead and stop recording.
Okay.
And I know you're going live right now on YouTube. Is that a regular podcast that you do?
Yeah, yeah, we try to make a habit of it on Tuesdays.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds perfect. If you want, I can hop in on Tuesdays, like even just 10,
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great.
and we can do the same thing. Like I can pull contents for you, run through some questions that are heavy on my noggin.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And then, like I mentioned, I am gonna be in the field probably in the next couple of weeks, and so like it may be some opportunity even for field work, because I'm gonna be interviewing some of the clients that I talked about. That we kind of help facilitate their process of, really mindset. Getting their mindset together to so they can make those power moves. Because we didn't do nothing special. It's just when they got in the right mindset, like they literally made the right moves, and now they're benefiting from them. And so we're gonna be doing grand openings for them. So we're gonna have two of those, and we just want to share about their process. So I hope to like maybe bring on guests to share about their process.
That would be really good. I'll I would want to take part of it, or even just watch your live, to be honest.
For
So if
sure.
you can share me with me the link, that would be great.
Okay.
Um, so I'll hop off for now, and you guys can continue.
All right.
Um, if you guys can keep the tab open for Riverside, please,
Okay.
so we can finish the conversion.
Okay. You got the tab on you on your computer. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. All right. Thank you, Kia.
Thank you so much for your time, Tim and Malik. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week or next week. Let's see.
See you next week.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. Bye.
So yeah, I mean, I like doing the contest sessions with her, because it really gives the podcast. It really just gives me the opportunity to explore things that honestly I don't like talking about, a lot of the politics stuff, but I think some of that stuff is helpful. To be honest, like I used to go to like meetings after meetings after meetings. Like if you knew me maybe about 5 years ago, you would think like literally I had some kind of obsessions with meetings. But I felt like there wa- there was I knew that I was going to get busy. And so I took that free time, and this is a message, to new business owners, or people maybe that's going through the process of starting their business. Um, you know, There's going to be a time where you're going to be busy, right? And so it's very important that, like, literally you got to go all energy, all effort, right? Sometimes you got to go all effort because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. That's just the bottom line, right? Whether it something, happens to us, or maybe a loved one, or maybe things change at work, or anything can happen, right? um the best thing you could do for yourself is to continue to believe in your dream. Continue to take yourself serious. You are serious, your business is serious, your dreams are serious, and I'm just a serious fan of yours. And I'm just grateful for you, hopping in and being a part of the housing podcast. And we invite you to, participate more, especially with our communities as they launch in July 4th, right? We're going to continue to be letting you know about, kind of about the sneak what's going to be in those courses and communities, right? Because we're just so excited. We're like looking forward to launching it, sharing it. Some people actually, they're already in there. I think I gave away 6 memberships last month, to our favorite, social media people. Really, it was first come, first serve. But yeah, I wanted to make sure, we worked out the kinks before we went live. And to be honest, one of them, we're actually gonna bring the show to one of her properties that she just bought. I just shared it on social media. I forgot where, but beautiful home, right? It's a front house, it's a back house, has tons of parking, and yeah, that's just her first project. She's ready to get her second project next year, but her lender said, hey, she may actually be able to get it sooner. But yeah, I mean, hey guys, I love sharing good news. I love celebrating. If you guys ever want to kind of chime in, or share some projects that you're working on, and maybe we can help follow up, on your projects, right? Maybe you need a extra eye, or maybe you need some extra feedback on some of your housing projects that you have going on, that you're developing in your local community, right? And I want to make sure that you guys, reach out to the South Bay Podcast Studio, right? That's where we are today, right? We always, shout out South Bay Recorder Studio because they take care of us here, right? We're always, we're pleased with the quality of the work. Sounds good, look good, and you feel good, right? Like as Dion would say, right? And when you look good, feel good, right? They pay good, right? But we're not talking about money, man. We're talking about mission. We're talking about, this crusade to really empower, business owners, housing professionals, and even families that's looking for stability in housing, right? My thoughts are with you, and we're a resource. Reach out to us, members at housingbusinessowners.com. Until next time, this is your host, Tim McDaniel.